favorite scene to play in Phantom happens at the end of the show. This is a spoiler alert for the 5 people on the planet who haven't seen Phantom of the Opera. But there's a scene at the end where she holds the Phantom's unmasked face in her hands, and where she just sees nothing but the perfection in him. She loves him so unconditionally in that moment, and it's a sacred, transformational moment in the show. And it's not only transformational for him as the recipient of that kind of love, but for her as well. And it was my favorite scene to play in the show because every audience member's hearts were broken wide open in that moment. But it was not lost on me that I would go home at the end of being a part of this incredible spectacle of a show, and I couldn't ever in my life seem to find that same loving, unconditional acceptance for myself. And the book really is about how can we learn to see who we are and to see other people with that same kind of sacred, loving presence and acceptance that Christine sees the Phantom with in that moment. For me, it's been a lifelong struggle from having this big dream of performing, but being a kid and a young woman filled with self-doubt and a lot of critical voices in my mind, like so many of us. And because of my involvement in Phantom, I had the privilege of being a guest on Oprah back in 2006. And I told my story of being a shy kid, fearful of going for it in my life, and how Oprah inspired me to keep plugging away and believing in myself. And after that show aired, I heard from people all over the world from all different professions who said that they saw themselves in my story and that they too felt that there was something inside of them wanting to come out, that there was some way in which they were playing small, but they knew there was more for them to do in life. And they were asking me, how did you conquer the fear? Well, I never conquered the fear, but I did learn how to work with it. I learned how to dance with it and how to bring it along for the ride. And being a part of Phantom, playing this leading role for 10 years, taught me a lot of things about, as we've talked about, perseverance, self-compassion, moving through your self-doubt, dealing with those critical voices, keeping it fresh, staying present. And when I left Phantom, I really felt that there was something more for me to do in my own voice, not as a part of a show. But the next challenge for me really was, how can I now fully embody being the leading lady of my own life? And so that's why I wrote the book. I started speaking to groups and sharing about my journey and the lessons that I learned along the way and the tools that helped me become more confident and learn to see myself with that same kind of compassion and acceptance. So the book really is, it's not only for people who are interested in the arts and not only for people who are interested in pursuing theater. It's really for anyone with a dream, from any walk of life, at any age, because we're always growing into more of who we are. But it has to begin with that solid foundation of self-acceptance and self-worth so that we have the courage to choose the path of love instead of letting fear hold us back.